So we're back. We're doing our new game playthrough. No Kuro's Charm. All bosses. All bosses that we can do on one playthrough. When we left off last time, we defeated Juzo the Drunkard. Or the Glutton. We defeated him in Harada Estate Part 2. We are right at Owl's doorstep for that second Owl fight, which is a fantastic fight. We have some other stuff to do though. I've been rewatching the videos, and I've been keeping track of NPC quest lines and stories, and I'm doing that so we don't forget stuff. So we are here at the Harada Estate. And what we're gonna do is... Oh man, I got so tilted. I was so tilted last time. Sumo Kumo absolutely took it to me. Just absolutely took it to me. I think that what I want is Living Force. I think that's what I want to go after. Medicine Potency would be good. That's going to require a little more, just like another half a skill bar for Medical Potency. And then Medical Potency will take us to Nightjar Reversal. But we still might have to purchase Nightjar Slash to get it. I don't remember. Suppress Presence, or Suppress Sound would be nice. And Vault Over would be nice. Vault Over allows you to use ninjutsus, which rules. Because you can beat somebody, and then rather than take the death blow, you can use the Vault Over, and then take the death blow from behind, and buff, and get that new ninjutsu buff off. Yeah, man, the skills are just, yeah, they're good. They're good skills. Okay, but before we do any of that, we are going to... We're going to go to the Inner Sanctum, and I think we're going to try and get Rice one more time. Traverse the Fog, hello and welcome. Paladin Lothair has redeemed Do the John Sekiro horse. Alright. Alright. I just woke up, but we'll get there. So, we've gotten Rice 3 times from the Divine Child. Her Rice is a healing item. It regenerates your health for a period of time. We've used it to get that old granny to help us find the path to the snakes. Now the Divine Child appears to be weak or sick or something.
Miko no shinobi, yoku oide kudasai-mashita.
どうした？
大事ありません。それより今お米を。
待て、顔色が優れぬ。ゆっくり休め。
はい、わかりました。
何かあるか？何か欲しいものはあるか？
では、柿を食べたいです。
わかった。
So, she wants a persimmon. Also, kind of a big deal for Wolf to be, like, helpful. Wolf is about as helpful as you choose for him to be. but he's never like gone out of his way, you know. Like he'll give a vendor 10 cents if you choose to, and he'll spirit away Kotaro with skills he already has. But like Sekiro being like, yo, what can I do? Like actively trying to help.
巫女の忍びいらしてくれたのですね。
Do we know anything about the illness she has? Is it dragon rot? No, it's not dragon rot because she's not coughing. I think she's just like extremely dehydrated, or maybe like suffering from low blood sugar. We're trying to apply medical reasoning to a magic child, but like I assume, you know, the act of producing rice takes its toll on her body. Like it's not something that she can just do for free, right? She wants a persimmon, and the persimmon helps her. So like to my mind, she's either you know, dehydrated or you know, like she just doesn't have any. She got no blood sugar.
カキだ。
誠に取ってきてくださったのですね。
食え。
はい。いただきます。
Rice requires a lot of water. Yeah, rice fields are like ponds, right?
甘くて美味しいです。
そうか。
忍びよ、お手を。
だが。
もう大丈夫です。お手を。
わかった。
豊かな実りを。
Hesitation is no rice.
礼を言います。巫女の忍びよ。いただいた柿のおかげでたくさん実ったようです。よければ流院の巫女にも差し上げてください。
わかった。
This also marks a change for the rest of the series. This is the first time I'm playing the game since watching Small Business Owner's video on Sekiro. I shared it on YouTube. Small Business opted for the name SMB on YouTube. So yeah, if you are subscribed to me over on YouTube, if you check the you know, the page where I can post stuff, not just my videos, but like I can, like, you know, engage with people. I posted the video over there, and it's about how it's small businesses take on Sekiro, and he posits that Sekiro has PTSD, and the case that he makes for it is absolutely flawless. And it really puts the game into perspective as well. He just did a very good job with that video. One of the things that's interesting is he talks about Sekiro's endings and how your endings are tied to how much you care for the weak and the vulnerable. And like you have the one ending, the Shura ending you can do, where you kill Ishin and Emma, and you betray Kuro. And he likens that to a post-traumatic stress survivor, someone who's been abused. He likens that to them continuing the cycle of abuse, which is a thing that, you know, like everybody, you know, that's a thing you've heard of that happens. People who are abused are more likely to become abusers themselves because it's a thing they understand and know. Like that's social interaction to them. That's what they've been taught, right? And Owl is like this huge piece of shit, and we always talk about how Owl is a huge piece of shit. And how he fights dirty. But more than fights dirty, Small Business Owner points out that Owl is emotionally manipulating Wolf through that fight. And that's so spot on. It's easy to like, you know, in the context of a FromSoft game, have a giggle at the father figure like falling down and pretending like he's crying, like, oh, how could you do this to me? And then when you beat, you know, you kill or you end one of his health bars, he falls down and he's like, no, don't, I'm too weak, you know. And of course these are all just attempts to manipulate you. So anyway, by talking to the Divine Child of Rejuvenation, and giving her a persimmon, and taking it and giving it to Kuro, it shows that Sekiro is he's helping people that are weak and vulnerable instead of taking advantage of them. And the fact that you need to do those things in order to get the better endings is, man, you should, yeah, if you haven't watched his video, you should absolutely watch it. It's incredible. Alright, so this is rice that has spilled forth from the hand of the Divine Child of Rejuvenation, intended to be a gift for Kuro. Rice is precious. I want nothing more than for the divine heir of the dragon's heritage to get better. Kuro would likely be pleased to receive it. So she gave us so much rice after we gave her that persimmon that we got a little to-go bag for Kuro. So now we can travel back to Kuro's room. The good ending is just Sekiro going to therapy. The good ending is, like, no doubt the good ending. The one that keeps everybody alive. Kuro is, like, kind of alive. And it gives Wolf a purpose, and it gives Wolf something to continue to do. And Small Business Owner says that it allows Wolf to adapt, and like that's the most important part of like healing from emotional trauma, is taking that trauma and growing with it and adapting. And yeah, that's absolutely what he does. That's exactly what he does. He takes on a new role, etc. But yeah.
戻ったか、狼よ。
Hey, what's up, Spacey?
はい。九郎様に預かり物がございます。
預かり物？
これを。
Gave rice to Kuro.
これは米か。
はい。先方寺の巫女が九郎様にと。
そうか。それはありがたい。良き米と見える。実にツヤツヤしておる。
噛むとはもうございます。
噛む？狼よ。米は炊いて食べた方がうまいぞ。
は。
そなた、甘いものは好きか？
何でも食べまする。
ならば。
Wolf is just so
嫌いではないのだ
absolutely.
よし。そなたに良いものを作ってやろう。
良いものとは。
それはお楽しみじゃ。
Somebody was talking about how this game isn't Japanese because there's no eating scenes. You were completely out of your mind. Alright, so Wolf gives him the rice and he's like, yeah. He's like, Kuro, this rice is sweet when you bite into it. And Kuro's like, bite into it. You have to cook it, Wolf. What are you doing? But, like, Wolf has been raised to, like, fight samurai. You know what I mean? No one ever took the time to just teach this guy how to cook rice. So he's just been eating it raw. Oh. So then Kuro's like, well, hey, do you like sweet stuff? Do you like candy? And Sekiro's like, yeah, I mean, no, I'll eat anything. Whatever's fine.
良いもの
So he says he'll
行くか、狼よ。
he says he'll make us something nice with the rice that we gave him. So I'm trying to think if there's like some boss I forgot to beat, or I don't guess so though. Oh, I do have a thing we could do though. I do have a thing we could do. I need to like warp away from here and come back anyway. So this will give us something to do. We're gonna head back to that abandoned dungeon. Hey, what's up, Eternal? Now that we can swim, we can hop in the lake here. Or the pond, rather. I didn't get any carp scales for that, really? Oh, okay. $300 sin just hanging out. Now, if you'll recall, there was a surgeon back here in the dungeon, and that surgeon wanted us to bring him a specimen. But the specimen that he wanted was a big, strong, healthy man. Now, we have not sent him a big, strong, healthy man. But we're kind of sneaking up here. We find Dosaku's note. An old note left by Surgeon Dosaku. My disciples have abandoned me for Dojin. Unwilling to dirty their own hands, they all left me for that hypocritical quack. Dojun, my last disciple. Even if I die, the research must continue. Finish the procedure for Ashina's sake. Dosaku. Alright, so this gives us a little insight. This has actually been interesting because, like, there are things I've said in earlier videos, and it was how I remembered things, and it turns out I was wrong. I talked about how the sculptor, I just remembered the sculptor had made the shinobi prosthetic, but he didn't. Dojin made it. Things like that. So, this is, I assumed that Dosaku was a student of Dojin, but it appears they were, I mean, that's still possible, but Dosaku saw them as peers. He saw himself and Dojin as peers. And all of his disciples have abandoned him for Dojin. He also calls Dojin a hypocrite, which is interesting. I wonder why. Hey, what's up, Glory Hog? Yeah, their names are very similar, Miscreant. You've got Dojin, Dosaku, and Dojin. Dojin, and Dosaku. It's hard to keep it straight. Now, at a certain point, we can eavesdrop on him. But, not yet, apparently. So, here, we've got 2 corpses, and we've got, like... It's hilarious. We have the pinwheel... this is the texture of the thing that Pinwheel uses in Dark Souls 1. Pinwheel, also a chopper of bodies. So Dojun over here chopping at bodies. I'm trying to figure out like what we're looking at exactly. Oh, that's a foot. That's a foot and a hand. That's a big foot and a big hand. Now, we've already looked around a bit here. And we see the parasites that I associate with the rejuvenating sediment. The rejuvenating sediment is a particularly potent part of the rejuvenating waters, which is a type of immortality that you can get. The sediment, though, is infested with these vermin that can make you immortal.
忍びのお方、司祭はお渡しした紙よ。余計なことは。
Okay, so he doesn't have anything new to say to us. What texture? The texture of that, like, bone chopper thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a surgical tool. It looks like a mix between like a saw and like a cleaver. That same texture appears all over Pinwheel's arena. I've always had a laugh at it. Because it very much looks like an early like saw cleaver prototype, and that's something that I was able to appreciate, of course, after I played Bloodborne. Yeah, and here it shows up again. It does occur to me there is one other thing we could do. There is something we could fight and try and get some skill points out of. But first, let's talk to Kuro.
待っておったぞ、狼よ。さあ、手を出すがよい。
Okay. This plotline in English, in the English dub, is the only time that I like Kuro. Ever. It's easier in Japanese because I'm not fluent in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. So, I don't know what the characters are conveying. You know what I mean? It sounds like they're doing a good job of voice acting. Kuro in the English dub, like, I understand him. I understand all of his words, yada yada. As a result, it's like I can be annoyed by him, and I am. He's so annoying in English. In Japanese, though, he's right here. He's so cute, and he's even in Japanese, he's kind of like sing-songy, like here it is, you know, like he's so happy to have made this sticky sweet rice ball for Wolf, and this is the point where Kuro stops being like the immortal child emperor of noble path, and he's just a kid, and there's a point where you this is going to come up again later when we beat the game. By not being a kid up until this point, when he is a kid, it's like a oh wow kind of moment, you know, like it's like oh he is a kid, you know. It's the same thing with Sekiro when we beat the game. If you do the Immortal Severance ending, which we're going to do, If this was like a AAA Sony title, Wolf would be crying every time there was a cutscene. And they... Like, on the one hand, it's fine to show, like, your strong protagonist vulnerable emotionally. That's fine. But what ends up happening a lot is the developers or, you know, the people who are making the movie, they show us our protagonist crying or sad or whatever so that we feel the emotional weight of their story, right? They're essentially holding us fucking hostage, okay? So, like, if this was like a big AAA title, if this was like The Last of Us 2, Wolf would be crying all the fucking time. He would just be bawling at every cutscene. He doesn't. So, at the end of the game, there's a moment where, like, he does show emotion just for, like, a split second, man. Just, like, a split second he shows emotion at the end of the game. And it hits harder than watching, you know, Jin from Ghosts of Tsushima or, what's her name? Ellie from Last of Us 2. The scene where Wolf shows just a hint of emotion hits harder than those two crying all the time. You know what I mean? Because, like, we're not accustomed to it. And it's the same thing here when Kuro is actually like, hey, I'm a kid. I'm a little kid, you know that, right? I made you candy because I'm a kid and that's what I want to do. It's a sweet sticky rice ball made by Kuro using rice from the Child of Rejuvenation. It slowly grants medium vitality recovery and constant posture recovery over time. Once, when the wolf was starving, his father wordlessly handed him a rice ball. It was astoundingly delicious. This one is sure to taste just as good.
これは
おはぎじゃ。千宝寺の巫女殿にいただいたお米でこさえたのだぞ。さあ、遠慮はいらぬ。食うてみよ。
Alright, so he tells us to eat it here, and we're going to, because he gave us two. And you get special dialogue if you do it. Also, lemonade waffles, hello and welcome. This is from Soft. The characters are pretty much either stoic or well-spoken or gibbering lunatics. I agree with that. What's wild? Enjoy your lurk, Soulstraw. What's wild about it is, like, it's fresh on my mind, that small business, that SMB, Sekiro has PTSD video. It's not that Sekiro is stoic. It's that he's emotionally cauterized. He's like, it's easy to be like, well, From Software has never made a protagonist that talks a lot, and that's true. But, like, this goes beyond that. Like, this dude is just bluntly marching through, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that he's even stoic. He's just fucking dead inside. Yeah. It's, like, it's so much better than I gave it credit for. I can't believe I had never thought of that. So anyway, he gave us a rice ball. Let's eat it.
そうであろう、そうであろう。狼よ、私のおはぎはどうじゃった？
うもうございました。
であろう。幼き頃から菓子を作るのが好きでな。平田のお屋敷でもよく炊事場に入り込んでいたものだ。いずれいとまができたら茶屋でも開くかのう。
And so there we get some motivation for Kuro, which makes us feel even better about trying to help this kid. But also, like, if you've already done the homecoming ending, it's a little sad because you know he's never going to do that.
狼よ、ようやく叶うな。これできっと源の好機を抱きしめることができるだろう。さあ、香炉に集めたものをくべてくれ。
So, oh, I need some skill points. And I think I know of a good place to get some. Yeah, here we go. Yes, exactly, Lucertola. Sekiro being emotionally stunted allows the player a greater range of control when assuming the character, right? Anything you do makes sense. You know what I mean? And that's great. Alright, so we've cleared the fog, we've cleared the illusion. There's some treasure down here we haven't gotten. But there's also a headless we can fight. Fighting the headless would allow us to, fighting that headless would allow us to... Oh no. Fighting that headless would allow us to get some skill points. And it would get us a sugar. Unfortunately, we don't have any lazulite tools yet. Lazulite tools absolutely bonk these nerds. We don't have any of those. There is a finger whistle you can get that messes with. There's a finger whistle you can get that messes with those apparition type enemies as well, but we don't have it either. It makes it a little easier to deal with the headless. Unfortunately, you can't sneak attack them. Alright, we're gonna have 20 seconds once we pop the, the sugar. So let's try and make the most of it, eh? I'm stuck. Man, I had a really, really good clip going there. There's the Gaishin Spirit Fall. Ooh. Allows us to sneak. I'm falling to pieces, said the man to himself, drifting deep into the forest. I'm falling to pieces. I feel like that probably has like some greater significance than I'm giving it credit for. Lump of fat wax, scrap magnetite. These are good. It's good that we're getting these. Lump of fat wax especially. That's a hard one to come across. Why do these enemies who apply the instant kill status effect also do real damage with their awkwardly paced attacks? Who designed this? They really get the point across that this is completely different from anything else you fought. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, they are infinitely frustrating. But how else do you get that point across? You know, I like them. The best part about the Headless is that you never have to fight them when something else is going on, you know what I mean? Like, they're always off the beaten path, by themselves, except for, you know, one very particular occasion, when there's two of them. Alright, so... Kuro wants us to take his rice ball and give it to the Divine Child. Hey, what's up, Remy? Congrats.
ミコにお米を渡していただけましたか？
あ、もらった米を巫女様がおはぎにしてくださった。
まあ、流院の巫女がご自身でそのようなことを。
とても張り切っておられた。そしてとてもうまかった。
それは良かったです。ああ、そうか。流院の巫女もまた人なのですね。なんとは当たり前のことか。不死立ちもきっと故に迷い、それでも選ばれたのでしょうね。巫女の忍びよ、一つ聞きたいのですが。
なんだ？
巫女様の名はなんと？
クロウ様だ。
クロウ様。とても良い響き。
I don't want to talk over this, but like, there's so much to say.
お会いしたいものです。
Alright, so the child of the rejuvenating waters, when we, you know, she made a little extra rice, and she told us to give it to Kuro. We give it to Kuro, and Kuro turns it into candy. And when we come back here and we tell her, like, yeah, he made it into candy. He's, you know, like, he said thanks, and he made it into candy. She's like, it not only does it humanize Kuro to us, the player, but it also humanizes Kuro to her. And she starts to feel differently about Kuro, and you know, the fact that he's, you know, he's immortal, yeah, but he's still just a kid like her. And who does she, like, what are her motivations as a character, right? She's driven by, like, she detests these monks because of what they did to the other children. Those children were her friends, and they're all dead now. And so when Kuro acts slightly childlike, I don't want to say childish, but childlike, and he makes a sweet rice ball out of the rice that she gave us, she starts to see Kuro as a kid like her, and she starts to contemplate his decision to sever immortality. And you know, these kids in this game are like thrust into like insane circumstances, and you know, like there's plenty of examples of kids being thrust into adult situations and the kids having to adapt quickly, and they do. And that's what's happening here, but they're still kids, right?
巫女の忍びよ、ようこそおいでくださいました。
So, like we can give sake to Emma, Sculptor, and Ishin, we can give her persimmons now. So we can give her a regular persimmon or a taro persimmon. We'll give her a regular persimmon.
好奇だ。食え。
はい。
Hey, what's up, Paku
いただきます。
Pori? And Finny, good afternoon. Yeah, Raffarino, like every Sengoku era Japan game is
やはり
about becoming a stepson.
これほど美味しいものはない。
そうか。好奇だ。食え。
はい、いただきます。これは
どうした？
素晴らしく甘うございます。柿とはまさしく赤き宝玉なり。
I have never had a persimmon, but my understanding is that they are not sweet or delicious.
さようなら、あなたの行く末に。
So, let us fight our dad. This is a fucking... this is a brilliant observation that I did not notice until Small Business Owner pointed it out in his video. When you come down here the first time, the Buddha falls over before you fight Lady Butterfly. Or when you fight Lady Butterfly. However, when Sekiro confronts his past, keep in mind all of Sekiro's, and this is all straight, like this is Small Business Owner's assessment of things. This is all him. I am adding nothing to this. All of Sekiro's buffs and everything are related to God, prayer, etc. So, when Sekiro's betrayed by his father and betrayed by Lady Butterfly, the symbolism of like him losing his faith and this being like an event that destroys him, which is why he's blocked these memories out. The Buddha statue falls over. However, when Sekiro comes down here to face his father and to actually like face the memories of the things that have happened, you've found enough purpose that the statue does not fall over. And that's like fucking incredible environmental storytelling, and I don't know how I missed it. You're not my real dad. press parry fast enough. Whoa! Fuck! Ugh! I know how to do that. I know how to do that. Muscle memory's just not there. Alright. Oh, right. Also, I'm supposed to be doing the John Sekiro voice. I will absolutely Makiri counter you, you bird brain bitch, because you ain't my real daddy. Ishin Oshina's my daddy now. I messed up those parries. Ishin Oshina wouldn't make fun of me for it. Can't even get me with that shoulder tackle, can ya? You old, you worn out, you big-haired bitch. Get Makiri countered. Ooh! I don't think so. Oh shit. Oof. Alright, I was thirsty. I was just thirsty. You ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing. Ain't be nothing. It's over. It's over now. I got your number, old man. I ain't afraid of you or your big dumb owl. Get thrust attacked. You lost a step, and it was the step you used to Makiri counter. You ain't got it. You ain't got it no more. Can't even do your stupid thing. You can't even do your stupid Shadow Rush. The hitbox! The hitbox! The hitbox! I call shenanigans. I call shenanigans on that. Stelium, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Enjoy your emotes, and I very much appreciate it. The foster father confronted in old memories was a man in his prime. From a gameplay perspective, I absolutely love that, because it's a thing that we often bring up in From Software games, where you're like, oh man, imagine if you had to fight Artorias and he wasn't crippled. Imagine if you fought so-and-so in their prime. Imagine if you fought so-and-so in their prime. And Sekiro lets us do that, assuming we do the right endings. Flowers of the Everblossom that bloomed in an old memory. Grafted by Takeru, who took the branch from the divine realm as a parting relic. One who seeks purification may impart the dragon tears and these flowers to the divine heir of the dragon's heritage, thus severing the shackles that bind the immortal bearer of dragon's blood. Just got your job back? Hey, congrats. That's why I like the game tricking you into Shura ending first. You get the lore and the Go Pod fights the second time around, and it makes it more epic. That's a very good point, Lupine. Yeah. The fact that you can take that Shura ending and it's almost like the game's daring you to do it the first time. And you don't know what to pick. You're like, yeah, I should obey the Iron Code. The game even told me it was important to obey the Iron Code earlier. So we confront the memory of Owl, our father. Owl took in the hungry cub on a whim and raised him as a shinobi. The process was so engrossing that he hoped they might enjoy a true battle to the death someday. He got his wish, if only in an old memory. So the entire crux of the SMB video is that the Harada estate is Sekiro facing his the memories that he's blocked out that triggered his post-traumatic stress, right? And the final thing that we get in that memory is Sekiro being betrayed by his father. Now, we don't know it was his father at the time, but we pick up on that later. The Harada estate, the way it's done is so From Softwareian that we don't think much about it. Like, is it time travel or is it the other thing? Shrug, guess it doesn't matter. But the whole crux of like SMB's thesis is that when you ring, I don't know. I personally put like a religious angle on it. When Sekiro rings the bell in front of the Buddha, the Buddha chooses to show Sekiro that, right? Like that's the Buddha, like, giving us the opportunity to go into our memories and uncover them, right? But either way, whether or not you put the religious angle on it or not, that is what it comes down to. It's just Sekiro, like, finally being able to, like, confront this traumatic past event that led to, like, at the very beginning of this playthrough, I was like, has he just been sitting here in this well for 3 years? And the answer is yes. Like, that's how broken he is. It's so easy in an action adventure game. It's so easy to just kill 100 dudes and be like, yeah, let's go kill 100 more. The fact that Wolf killed everyone on a warpath to get back at this kid that he was entrusted with, and like he failed in that goal. His kid has been abducted, and the Harada estate's being burnt to the ground. Like, what's now the question that it opens up is like, what the hell was Wolf doing? What was Wolf doing that he wasn't there? And that he had, you know what I mean? Like, that he had to fight his way back into the Harada estate to find that kid. Where was he at before that? But anyway, the fact that he had, like, this just absolute night of horror and betrayal and bloodshed, like, yeah, he hung out in the well for 3 years. Yes, the answer to that question is yes. I also thought about it, and part of the reason the initial memory is wrong is that we get the bell from the old lady from the estate. She had no idea what was really going on, hence why it's inaccurate. Just a theory, of course. Yeah, the old woman has clearly lost her mind. But she's clearly lost her mind because of the events of this night. When we talk to her, here, she's freaking out, and she's like, my son went to go find the divine air. I can't stop seeing it. It's flowing out, and it won't stop flowing. And we don't know what the hell she's talking about. But I don't think we're supposed to know what the hell she's talking about. Because Lady Butterfly has made, like, this entire building, like, a hell world of illusion. To the point where her son doesn't have his eyes. And I like to imagine that he's, like, clawed his own eyes out to make the illusions stop. Which is why we find him with his eyes, clawed out. And then in the future, quote unquote, when we find him, he's wearing those bandages over his eyes. I don't know how to take it. Like, I think the bells, like, to me, it's like we take that first bell, and small business owner points out that the reason all this happens is because Sekiro wakes up, he starts going back to try and find that kid again, and the first two regular people he meets after he starts fighting, the first two regular people he meets are people that he ran into on the night of the Harada Estate massacre. And so like that's part of what triggers the flashback of the event. And then small business owner talks about how if you guys like, I'm all the time recommending Slaughterhouse 5. It's one of my favorite books. It's like one of my favorite books as a youngster. Slaughterhouse 5 is very much a story about a post-traumatic stress survivor. Billy Pilgrim is like, he's being abducted by aliens at period of his... He no longer sees time as like a linear concept. Like, he just gets dropped into different memories of his life at different times. And he's constantly like living it after surviving the bombing of Dresden. And, you know, in the book, it's like the Tremalfadorians are abducting him and taking him and putting him in different parts of his life. But, like, that's... Like, the man has shell shock. and his life... He no longer experiences his life as... Because, like, when you have flashbacks, it's not like you're able to discern what's real and what's not. You know, like, time doesn't work for you anymore. You don't appreciate it as, like, one linear construct where you're, you know, constantly at the moving end of it. Now, instead, you're just sort of experiencing and being placed in different parts of your own life. And, like, there's no way to discern, quote, what's real, quote, and what's not. So, Sekiro ringing that bell or whatever, to me, like, it doesn't have to be accurate for that reason. Man, that small business owner video is so good. Thirsty Man, welcome back. Thanks for 11 months. Much appreciated. Any excuse to nerd out over lore. Yep. Yep. Alright, so we've got 4 points now, but we're very close to 5. So, you know, why not just wait? Onlave, welcome back. Thank you for 16 months. Got nothing interesting to say. Lore, man. They call me the lore, man. 'Cause I know the lore, man. Let's, we can burn this incense, and we can have a very good fight with the true monk. I suppose that's the only thing left to us. We should also check in on the divine child of the rejuvenating waters, who may be now willing to help us in a way that now that she's thought about Kuro's dilemma. Yeah. So we come to check on her, and she's not here. Where would she go? Probably to be with her friends, right?
どうした？
巫女様たちもありがとうと言っている。皆可愛い子たちじゃ。
そなた、私も。
私は あの方たちを失いたくない。けれど流因をお返しする道、それを選べば皆と別れることになるかもしれません。そう言ってくれるのですね。いいえ、皆、あのお方は本当にお優しいのですよ。これを渡してくださったのも。
おい、
ニコの忍びいらしていたのですね。おかげで友たちと深く語らうことができました。
オチの巫女たちか。
はい、それであなたにお伝えしたいことがあります。流因を断つのではなく、あるべき場所にお返しする道について。
流因を返す。
そうです。流因は故郷を放たれ、この日の元に流れ着いたもの。あるべきではない場所にあるべきではないものがある。故に我らのような歪んだ命を生み出そうとする者が絶えぬのでしょう。流因や流因に
I
連
know a
な
lot
る
of
我
people
ら
look at this ending as a sort
と
of
帰るべきなのです。
sequel bait,
西へ
and I
神な
I
る
would
竜
love
の
it.
故郷へと。
but I don't see it the same way.
いかにしてたどり着くか、それがまだわかりません。
For that reason.
定かのことを知る者は
先方商人ならば、あるいは
それは誰だ。
この先方寺の開祖です。弱いは果たしていかほどか。体内くぐりのうちにこもっています。巫女の忍びよ。
なんだ。
これは不死立ちとはまた異なる道。故に無理にとは申しません。もし流因を返す道を望まれるならば、先方商人よりその術を聞き出していただけぬでしょうか。
考えておこう。
So, like I said, when when she makes rice and sends it to Kuro, and Kuro turns it into candy, it makes her think about Kuro as like an actual child and not just the heir of the divine dragon. And so she comes here and she talks to her friends, who are also kids who have been abducted and murdered for the monks' bizarre-ass bloodborne experiment. And she talks about the divine dragon not being from here. It drifted here from some other part of the world. And a lot of people like to think of the potential ending as sort of like sequel bait, and I would totally be into that, where Sekiro and the child return the dragon to its rightful place. But I don't think there is a rightful place. It's not like something that you can actually do. It's just something for them to do. Does you know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference between work you know you'll finish and work that cannot be finished. And this is work that cannot be finished. Is my interpretation of it. But, you know, it's from software, so you can think whatever you want. Does John Sekiro use the big sword on his back, or is it just for show? He does use it. It's only used to kill things that are immortal. Everything else you can just kill, you know, with a regular sword. But there are immortal things that cannot be killed, except by that immortal killing sword. It is a plot MacGuffin. It's something we need to do the ending of the game. But Sekiro can also wield it. But he can't wield it like it's a regular sword. He only uses it to kill immortal things. Also, Owllegs, I hope I said that right. Thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome. And enjoy your emotes. Very much appreciated. That's a big swooshy. And you can make it even bigger. You can make it an even bigger swooshy if you want. So there are different types of immortality in this game, but in typical From Software fashion, it turns out all the different paths to immortality have the same origin. But for example, this monk here is immortal. And if I want to kill him, I have to use the special sword, right? So we fight. Actually, hang on. This would be a good time to. This would be a good time to use Spirit Balloon. This gives us more skill points, right? Spirit emblems. Oh no, there isn't one. Yeah, there isn't one that gives you more skill points, is there? Acquire more coin, obtain items, spirit emblems, and resurrective power. Yeah, okay. There isn't one for skill points. Okay. There we go. So, the thing is immortal because of this gross-ass centipede that's inside of it. And if I do this right, we can actually, like, hit him and then parry that attack. The timing on it's a little difficult. So we hit him, but he doesn't die. Unless we walk over here. And then that kills it. So if you wanted to, you could kind of skip the middleman here. Notice how much damage that does. Notice how much damage that did to the centipede thing. We took out half of its health in one hit. Alright, so we're going to go talk to the monk who founded the Simpo Temple to see about returning this dragon heritage. I've got 5 skill points, and I'm out of coffee. So, this would be a good time to split up the VOD. Thanks for hanging out.